Alphonso is a TV data company, right? And what that means is we really understand what shows people are watching, what TV ads they're getting exposed to, and all of this data is coming in real time, and we are one of the largest TV data source for this. And we use that in sort of two different ways. One is traditional ad targeting, layer on the TV data into digital ad market. But more importantly, we are taking this rich data set to really help brands understand, who they're reaching through TV and what happens with that, right? Like people they're reaching on TV, are they, visiting their website? Are they going to their retail location? Are they buying the products? So the holy grail of advertising is to really figure out what is working for us.
So what are the data sets then?
So for each of these verticals, we have come up with a solution that we can measure effectively, right? So anyone with a retail location, whether it's auto with their dealerships or any of the retailers or QSR, we tie the TV viewership data to location data and say, people saw your ad on TV X number of times, and then they eventually visited your store. And then in some cases, we go beyond that and look at purchase data from credit card companies to say, well, did they actually buy a product in your store? So that's one sort of line. Similarly, for auto, you can take the dealership data as well and say, did people visit the store, visit the dealership, and finally look at whole attribution to say, did they buy the car, right? So you take the whole journey there. Another very interesting thing we are doing is for theatrical releases. There's a lot of money that the movie studios spend on television, and they want to know if, who are the people who actually went and saw the movie. So there we have what we want to call as the custom ingest program, where the movie studios give us some snippets of the movie before it is released in theater, right? So this is a piece of the movie that you will only see if you are in theater, and through our mobile distribution, we can figure out how many people saw the movie and then tie it back to advertising on TV to say, what shows were they watching and how did the advertising on TV work. This works through our mobile app distribution. A percentage of people will still have their phone on, like they might silence it, but they still have their phone. And if the app is running in the background, we take this data and it's already ingested into our SDK, and then it picks up that someone is in the theater, and we can tie it back to advertising that they were exposed to. Privacy, safe, and transparency is very key, right? So Alphonso has always adopted a double opt-in, single opt-out approach. That means, one is it's in the terms and conditions, but there is an explicit, message that consumers see when they're using an app that tells them, this app is using microphone for advertising purposes, and users have to consent to that, right? And some percent of users will consent and some don't. But our stance has been that this needs to be very clear, and people know that it is there, and that is the world we live in. People, if they are aware of it, they are happy to sort of give consent, and in trade-off they get some other feature and some benefits that they get from those apps. So that's how we work. So theatrical is big because you can look at the theatrical business as two things. One is movie studios advertising on on television and trying to figure out how many people went to the movie and which channels work. And then the opposite happens, which is a lot of brands are advertising in theater, right? So you could see an auto ad before the movie starts, or you could even see television ads, right, for an upcoming show in theater. And so there we do the reverse, like, oh, we know how many people saw those ads. And then through that, we correlate it back to what did they do? Did they watch the TV show? Did they actually go to, an auto dealership and things like that? So we are sort of bridging, in some sense, the big spend that's happening on TV and theaters. That's one of the things. But in general, if I take the Alphonso platform view, till date, TV hasn't really been measured very well, right? We know very little of what is running on TV and who is watching it and what happens after that. So that is sort of really Alphonso's big mission, which is to build a platform to help brands understand the whole journey of consumers as they see their ads on TV all the way to purchasing the product.